G'day everybody and welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. In today's episode, the Pacer is getting a nose job because that's all sort of just gone. Yes, g'day everyone, my name's DJ and thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Automotive Carnage, where today we're getting back into the Pacer and doing some more bodywork. Yay, bodywork, everyone's favorite. And this front end is now gone because it was smashed in. Let me get the original one and show you why. Here we are folks, this is the original radiator support panel, and as you I'm sure are well aware, this section here is what hit into a tree or something, causing this car to be left out in the creek bed where we found it. So it's all mangled, all twisted and completely ruined. So out with the old and in with the new. Let's go get it, because it's actually not here, it's in our part shed. Let's go see what we've got to change it into. Over here in this old truck body is where I keep all my Valiant and Pacer bits and pieces. So we've got our bonnet that we will eventually be using outside, can't actually put it back inside. But inside here, we have just about everything we need to make our Pacer complete body-wise and just about driveline-wise as well. So we've got all our disc brake assemblies down here. We've got tail lights, we've got trim, we've got fenders. We've got two different kinds of fenders, the original fenders and then another set I picked up, doors, lots and lots of gear. But today what we want is this one here. So we've got that radiator support panel that came off the blue Pacer that we chopped up, but that's got a bit of a damage at the bottom there. Whereas this one that we picked up, a bunch of other parts I got in the package deal, is in a much better condition. Let's get this out here where we can see it. There we go, so this one here is lovely and straight, specifically along the top. The bottom's a little wonky, but it's going to do for our purposes, and it is complete enough that we can use it to go into our Pacers. Let's take it back over to the shed and start trimming it down and deassembling it so it's ready to go into our Pacer. Alright, now that we are back down here in the shed and we have our support panels side by side, we can compare them, and the only differences I can see, besides the fact that that is completely and utterly mangled from hitting a tree and this one is straight and actually usable, is that this one has an extra hole just here. Now, I do have the tags that for the car that one came off, and I think it was off a VG, which is the next model. So, but besides that, everything else is exactly the same. So a straight swap over should be easily achieved. Now, what we have to do first, let's move this out of the way, is obviously this one still has the front of the chassis rails in here, so we need to unstitch all of this on both sides and a little bit of unstitching to be done up here. Is that chassis rail is bent. Now luckily that chassis rail is only bent by 2.5 centimeters. One of my other friends has a VE, and he also has a YouTube channel, actually. Go check him out, old school only. Absolutely top bloke. He makes some really cool cars, real nice old school 30s hot rod type stuff with a lot of flat head V8s, but he does have a beautiful VE Valiant as well. So I got him to measure his chassis rails, and it is 75 centimeters between them. Our one is currently 72.5. So this rail here, you can kind of see it tapers in a little bit from where it smacked that tree, and also the most of the damage is down in here. So tonight we're going to heat all that up and try bend that back into shape. Okay, so now the whole front end has been taken away, the next thing I want to do is straighten out this chassis rail. So to do that we need generous amounts of heat. So we have a oxy torch and a dad who is much more experienced at getting this. He's too camera shy apparently today for some reason. So yeah, he's going to heat it up. I've got a massive drill rod that I'm going to use to put down into the chassis rail, bend it back into shape. We only have to move it 2.5 centimeters. So this shouldn't be too hard. Too hard. there we go, folks. The Valiant nose job is about 95% complete. Straightened out our chassis rail there. We tick screwed the front panel on just to help hold it into position correctly and get those joins nice and tight between the two sheets of metal. And now I've just gone around and plug welded a lot of the original spot welds that I drilled out to begin with. So now what we'll do is we'll just pull the last of those tick screws out, fill in those holes with a bit of weld, make it nice and strong, and then that front end is all done, good to go. So from there, we can then move on to our position down here by the steering box part of the chassis rail. And yeah, we need to clean all this up, clean it out. We'll probably weld the crack, and then we'll put a bit of angle iron in there, just to help give it a little bit of strength. Just plate these in, probably just plug that one up, not too bad. And then on the other side, you can almost see daylight right through there. A little bit there, oh, not quite. Anyway, cut out the other side, plate it in, and yeah, let's just get into it and get it done. And then once all that's finished, we can finally start offering up the K-frame. I just remembered I left the bolts for the K-frame up in the Goldfields, which is about 850 k's away. So we might have to go on a bit of a journey before we can put the K-frame in. Anyway, let's finish off that chassis rail. All right, on to the next major step in our Pacer project. The new front end is now on there. It's all welded in, secure, looking fantastic. And I've kind of already progressed a little bit further because once you get going, you don't really want to stop and turn a camera on or what have you. But anyway, as you can see, we now have a beautiful shiny black under fender area around here. Anyway, sanded that back, cleaned it up, sanded it back, primered and painted it black. It looks really, really nice. It is a bit shiny. Unfortunately, I didn't realize until I got home that there was a gloss black. I probably should have gone for a matte or maybe even a satin black, but I'm sure once we fix some dirt up in there, it's going to look just fine. So next step is to move on to the front. The front panel here is going to be black as well, so that you got this black background kind of going all the way around. But the engine bay, we've cleaned up. Man, I've spent a good couple of hours scrubbing all the dirt that has been left caked on this car. Been sitting out in the open with no bonnet on it for 20 plus years, 25 plus years. There's a lot of red dust that was worked its way into the paint and into the rust. Scrubbed all that back. I didn't film that because that's boring as hang just watching me scrub stuff. And we've got a really nice patina in there. We're not going to paint it. All we're going to do is clear coat it, give it a nice bright pop, and it's going to look absolutely fantastic. I'll show you that shortly. But anyway, next step really is I just want to get cracking into this, clean this up, prime it, paint it, same on the inside there, mask off the difference between the black and the clear, and yeah, go to town inside the engine bay. So let's get cracking into it. And just like that, the Pacer is painted, and honestly that's about all the fresh new paint that this car is ever going to get. So we've got this beautiful gloss black coming all the way around. It is a bit shiny, it does stick out quite a bit, but unfortunately I want a good quality hard wearing black in the spray can, and that's all the local hardware store had was a gloss. It would have probably been a bit better if we had a satin or a matte like I said before, but when you're out in the bush you got to work with what you got. And then coming inside, the area that I am most excited about, hang on, let me get up here so I can show you, is the clear coat over the rust. It looks awesome. Now, unfortunately, there's a whole lot of sun coming in through that door over there, which is really frustrating. But you get the idea. It's looking fantastic. And what's cool, as I was cleaning all the orange and the dirt away, it really revealed like the story and the way that the rust is leaking through over here. And I'll say it's because that's where the battery tray sits here and all the acid has splashed over the years. And you got this awesome, like it's kind of like flowing effect of the rust through there, which is going to look absolutely fantastic. And over this side, it's just as cool with all the pitting. Yeah, you can't see it because of the sun. But anyway, you get the idea. It's looking fantastic. I'm so happy that that's the way we went. Again, the gloss black chassis rails do stick out of place quite a bit, but hopefully I'm thinking by the time we get the engine in here and all the accessories, it's not going to be so bad. Now, the most fantastic part about having this car actually painted now is it's time to start reassembling. Yes, we can finally start putting some brand new parts back onto this car and get into a rolling chassis state, which I'm really looking forward to. The rust work is done, the body work's done, the painting is done. Let's start actually building a car and not just fixing bits and pieces. So the first thing we need, which kind of holds the whole front end together, is our K-frame or our subframe that goes underneath, and that is here. So what we've done, I've stripped it all down, taken the sway bar off it, taken the engine mounts off, and this is what we're left with. Given a bit of a scrub and a clean, and I was going to paint it, but now looking at it, I think I might keep the patina of it, for lack of a better term, and just bolt this sucker back in there. So, and we'll do the same too for the upper control arms, lower control arms, anything that doesn't need to be repaired is just going back on. Get cleaned, get rid of all the gunk, replace anything that needs to be replaced, obviously all the rubber bushes, I was going to say tire rollings. Our tire rollings need to be replaced, and ball joints, that's the word I'm looking for. All the ball joints, rubber bushes, all that kind of stuff, that's going to be replaced with brand new Pedders items. But as for these big chunky metal parts, let's just roll with them the way they are and help tell that story of the Creekbed Pacer and where it's been sitting. So let's bolt this in. To do that, we have something really cool. 4 massive, very expensive stainless steel bolts. These came from Hemi Performance, a fantastic item. Very common for these bolts, which hold it in, the K-frame, subframe, into the chassis rail to rust out and get very corroded, and they're always really hard to get out. But brand new stainless steel ones should stop that from happening in the future. So let's get this. Just, you know, throw around a real expensive bloody bolt just onto the dirt. Apparently that's what we do around here at Automotive Carnage. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky because it is a heavy item and I'm here by myself. And I've got to lift it up and put some bolts in that, as I said before, are notoriously hard to get in. So let's see how we go. Oh, hopefully I didn't skip arm day. What am I kidding? I never go to the gym anyway. Alright, put that in there. Whoa, 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 don't drop it on your head. Watch the paint. Watch the paint. There we go, come on. Only a couple of threads to take. That's that one. Oh, get that out of the bolt, where are you? There you are. And get one on this side. I said these bolts were expensive, but they were 140 something dollars, 130 something dollars for 4 of them. And considering how easily they go in, it is money well spent, that is for sure. And they look amazing, they feel amazing, and they just glide in. Whereas if you try to reuse your old steel ones, they're just a pain, and they're all corroded, and the thread doesn't, half the thread's missing generally when you pull them out. Especially when you pull a car out of a creek, and you know there's been water and dirt and debris flowing through the chassis rail. It always makes it hard. Anyway, where's my dagger? Alrighty, see how this goes. Alright, we got one in. That's good. Alrighty, there we are. Subframe is in. Those 4 bolts were fantastic to get in. Had a little bit of a struggle with some of them, but A, my battery was dying on my Agataga, and 2, the threads inside here on some of them were still a little bit dirty, but once we powered through that, woof, straight in they went. Fantastic product. Definitely check out Hemi Performance if you are rebuilding your Valiant. And that's really cool. I'm happy with that. Absolutely stoked. Yes. So yeah, absolutely stoked to have that subframe in there now. I understand I keep calling it a K-frame, which is more of a front wheel drive thing, but you know, heat, hot, summer, not thinking straight. Anyway, who cares? K-frame, subframe, same thing. Holds the engine in place, holds the suspension in place, and which means we can start putting suspension components on here. We have so much awesome brand new suspension and braking parts from Hemi Performance. I cannot wait to put them on. I need to give Petters a call and get all the suspension bushes, the shocks, and the ball joints and all the steering componentry. That's all going to be coming from Petters Suspension, who have helped us out before. Absolutely top guys down at the Caddington store there. Yeah, I can't wait. We're actually pulling the Pacer back together. It's been a long time coming. Thank you all for being patient if you held on for this long, both in the Pacer build and into this video, because it's been a bit of an odd one all over the show. You know, first we did our nose job, then we had to straighten our chassis rail, then we painted and then cleaned, and now we've got a K-frame in there. But that is where I'm going to end this video, so that we have time for all those bushes to arrive, so we can actually put something in the car in the next video. So yeah, we'll start assembling all of this part on both sides, and hopefully we can get some wheels on the front here and see what it's going to look like with those beautiful jelly bean style wheels. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching this episode of Automotive Carnage, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.